꾸려가며 성장하는 아이들. 정해진 답을 외우는 대신 스스로 묻고 스스로 찾아가는 배움으로 아이들은 세계를 넓혀갑니다.
Our children are learning to build their own dreams. Education that is not about getting the highest score, but learning how to build your own life. Asking why rather than jumping to an answer. Learning through asking and searching. Broadening the children's world.
학교와 함께 자기주도 학습의 기반을 다져나가고 성장 눈높이에 맞춰 아이들이 스스로 공부해 나갈 수 있는 힘을 키웁니다.
Schools and children building the foundation of self-directed learning together. Strengthening self-directed learning capabilities through education support for each growth stage.
이 캠페인은 아이들의 꿈을 밝히는 신뢰도 높은 공교육, 부산광역시 교육청이 함께합니다.
지역 경제가 힘차게 출발합니다. 기업들이 고객을 향해 더 빨리 가려면 방송 광고라는 엑셀을 밟으세요. 경제도 기업도 더 힘차게 달려가니까요. 방송 광고의 작은 힘, 경제의 큰 힘입니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 7 o'clock.
This is that day, the time of year where we're going to look back on all the ups and downs of the past 12 months. Major dictionaries also revealed their 2025 words of the year. My go-to dictionary, Merriam-Webster, chose the word slop, meaning digital content, often AI-generated, that is low quality, fake, or just pure rubbish. Oxford Dictionary chose rage bait, content designed to provoke anger for clicks and engagement. And Cambridge picked the word parasocial, one-sided relationships with public figures, or even AI, becoming more relevant with AI chatbots. I think these words of the year reflect a year dominated by concerns and cultural shifts around AI, online engagement, and the blurring of lines between real and fake content. Let me ask you this. What is your word of the year? I'm Catherine. This is Morning Wave in Busan on Wednesday, December 31st, the last day of the year on BEFM, 부산영어방송. Good morning, Wavers. Oh, I can't believe it is the last day of 2025. So come 11:59 p.m. tonight, we're going to start the countdown to the new year, 2026. In the meantime, we're going to be doing all sorts of other countdowns for top news, top artists, businesses, products. The list go on. And in the opening, I just shared with you another sort of list, right? The top words of the year according to the various dictionaries. But what was the year like for Busan? Let's reflect on some of the top issues for our city. The first issue happened fairly recently, the relocation of the Oceans and Fisheries Ministry to Busan. That move was finally completed earlier this month. And all in all, the response has been positive despite the prior months of friction. This signals the beginning of Busan's transformation into a maritime capital. So hopefully we'll see the full impact of this move starting next year. But the news wasn't all positive, as we've had some major safety issues. Looking back in February, the massive fire at the Banyantree Resort construction site that killed 6 people. This revealed safety lapses on site as well as larger structural issues that resulted in the chair of Samsung Corporation being arrested under the Serious Accidents Punishment Act. And then we had the Air Busan fire triggered by a portable battery that led to changes in airline policies regarding these battery packs. And then throughout the year, especially in spring and summer, we saw multiple sinkholes open up in Sasangu district. And these ground-sinking episodes were along the Sasang-Hadan subway line construction site, 8 out of 12 to be specific. And there were issues with unauthorized work and lax supervision by the authorities. But ending on a positive note, Busan City reached a milestone of 3 million foreign travelers this year. And the city has set its sights on 5 million in the next couple of years. So we have had our ups and downs. And here's to wrapping up this year well and to next year of building on these ups and learning from the downs. And now, let's talk about your ups and downs for our text topic. What are you happy about from this year? And what regrets do you have? 자, 올 한 해 마무리하면서 좋았던 점 그리고 아쉬웠던 점. I want to hear all about it. So curious to hear all about your ups and downs, the things that made you smile, the things that also made you frown and kind of reflect on yourself, whatever it is we want to hear. You can send them into BFM's live stream, live chat on YouTube. Go to the YouTube platform, type in BEFM, 부산영어방송, to find our channel, subscribe, log in, and then chat with other waivers. From your phone, pound 9050, shop 9050, that's going to cost you 101. You can also reach me for free through Kakao Talk. So to find our account, BEFM or 부산영어방송, add us as a friend, and then you can send in your messages and photos too. The ways you can tune into Morning Wave in Busan on the radio, if you're in Busan, 90.5 or 103.3 FM, depending on where you are in Busan. Like I said, we're streaming live on YouTube in real time right now, or you can check us out at your leisure. And we're also available on the BEFM app or the Popbang app. Both are free and easy to download. Let's look ahead to our last Wednesday together for the year 2025. We have Jian coming in real soon for Now in Busan. We also have Haley for Top Stories in hour number 2. We also have her coming in for Waglwa글. And for our guests, so we have Leon coming in for Now and Next, Work in Progress with Jennifer. That's in hour number 2. And then our special interview. You know, we've been, in the past few days, been talking about looking back on 2025 and looking ahead for 2026. So we're going to take a look at the key U.S. political issues because obviously the U.S. does affect so much of what happens on the world stage. So we're going to take a look back and take a peek into 2026 as well. I'll be back with news overview. It's now 7:06 and this is News Overview. Two-day parliamentary hearing on Kupang to begin. The National Assembly will hold a two-day hearing starting today to address Kupang's personal data breach, unfair trade practices, and labor conditions. Defense Ministry sacks commanders involved in martial law. The Defense Ministry said yesterday that it has decided to remove Lieutenant Generals Yeo In-hyung, Lee Jin-woo, and Ko Hyun-suk from office and dismiss Lieutenant General Kwak Jong-gun from his post for their involvement in the martial law declaration. President Lee Jae-myung to make state visit to China in January. President Lee Jae-myung will make a state visit to China from January 4th to the 7th and hold a summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping to discuss bilateral cooperation and economic ties, according to Cheongwade yesterday. Coupang CEO faces perjury and parliamentary questioning over data leak. The National Intelligence Service, or NIS, yesterday dismissed the interim Coupang CEO's claim that the spy agency directed the company to conduct an internal probe and requested the National Assembly to file a complaint against the executive over alleged perjury. Government estimates a shortage of 11,000 doctors by 2040. The Medical Personnel Estimation Committee said that there may be as many as 11,000 doctors in shortage by the year 2040, with this figure to be the basis for discussions on the medical school quota expansion next year. KT to waive contract cancellation fees following data breach. KT Corporation announced yesterday that it will waive cancellation fees for customers who wish to terminate their contracts with a mobile carrier following a major data breach involving a series of unauthorized micropayments. This was News Overview. It's time for Now in Busan. We have Jian in the studio. Let's say hi first. Hi.
Good morning.
It's the last day of 2025,
I know.
so it's kind of an awkward feeling. But I do want to know from you, what went well for you this year, and what's something that you could maybe improve on, or maybe something that didn't go as well?
Looking back, I kind of regret that I didn't express my love enough to my parents and to my friends.
Oh, really?
I wish I could express it a little more. It's just awkward to be a grown-up kid.
Do you say like the actual words like "I love you" to your parents? Or
I usually don't, but I am thinking of trying it next year.
I know for some people it's a stretch. Like it takes effort, right?
It does.
But
It
I
does.
think like if once you start saying it, it becomes easier.
Really?
Yeah, definitely.
And especially I'm now in the new city. I wish I could call them more often. And obviously the best thing happened in my this year is joining the Morning Wave team this year.
Such a great addition to our family. So we're glad you're here as well.
Thank you.
Well, let's jump into our local news. With the new year approaching, Busan is rolling out a range of new policies and initiatives. So what's changing?
Busan City announced its 2026 changes to systems and policies, featuring 48 initiatives and key updates across 5 areas that are closely tied to our daily life: economy, childcare, welfare, transportation, and culture. The city says the goal is to help citizens better understand next year's changes and reduce confusion.
I see. Maybe you could highlight some key changes.
In the economy sector, the city will expand financial support for small businesses by raising SME development fund limits and increasing interest subsidies. Support for business closures will also be strengthened. In childcare and welfare, the city will move toward free childcare for children aged 3 to 5 and expand care services for low and middle income households. Rush hour tolls and senior transit fare will be discounted to help reduce commuting costs. In culture, Busan will offer more cultural vouchers so low-income residents can enjoy artistic performances without financial burden and provide grants for young local artists.
I see. So thanks for letting us know about the changes coming our way. Let's move to our second story. Last October, a high school student passed away while being turned away by multiple emergency rooms. So during discussions to find the cause, a new perspective has emerged. So what is it?
New data suggests that communication failures between paramedics and hospitals may have played a role. According to Ministry of Health and Welfare data, ambulance crews began contacting hospitals at 6:44 a.m. when the student collapsed. After both Inje University, Haeundae Baek Hospital, and Donga University Hospital said pediatric care was unavailable, they reached Yangsan Busan National University Hospital at 6:50, and the hospital said they would check availability and get back to them. The hospital claims they called back at 7:04 to say they can accept the patient, but the paramedics say they never received the call. As communication failed, the so-called phone relay 전화 뺑뺑이 continued.
Yes.
The student went into cardiac arrest at 7:25 and later passed away.
Right. This is such a tragic story, and it's a local one. The two sides clearly have conflicting accounts of what went down.
But regardless of the actual cause, the lack of contact significantly delayed timely transfer to an available hospital.
Right.
Experts say the case highlights the urgent need to overhaul communication systems to prevent similar tragedies in the future.
Indeed. We don't want this type of incident to ever happen again. All right, moving on. Busan is set to host the first Global Startup Immigration Center in the southeastern region. So tell us about this center. What is this?
The Global Startup Immigration Center, 글로벌창업이민센터, is an institution that supports international entrepreneurs who wish to start businesses in Korea by providing startup education, consulting, and related programs. The Ministry of Justice designates regional operating institutions, and the Busan Startup Investment Agency, 부산기술창업투자원, has been officially selected to run the center. Until now, these centers were concentrated in Seoul, but under the government's balanced regional development policy, expansion to local regions has been actively discussed this year. Busan made a strong push and achieved the distinction of becoming the first city in the southeastern region to host the center.
Oh, so this is good news. When will it open and how will it be used?
The center is scheduled to open in the first half of next year, 2026. The former Busan Station Plaza, now the Busan Eurasia platform, will be used as a hub for international startup education and global exchange. Through programs such as startup training, mentoring, and incubating, participants will earn points that are required to obtain a technology startup visa. With this move, Busan is laying the institutional groundwork to help international startup talent settle and grow locally in Busan, rather than concentrating only in the capital area, while strengthening its brand as an emerging startup city in Asia.
Well, this is great to hear about. So thank you for explaining what the center is and how it will be used. Now, moving on to our final story as the year comes to a close. Busan is planning a New Year's bell ringing event. So we need the details.
On the last day of 2025, today, there will be an annual bell ringing ceremony at Yongdusan Park as always. The event includes various activities such as a music festival, countdown, bell ringing, New Year's greetings, and fireworks.
Yes.
Pre-event activities begin at 6 p.m. with a photo zone, followed by slogan making and a slow mailbox 느린 우체통 activity at 8 p.m. The music festival runs from 11 p.m. for 45 minutes, and then the countdown event will begin with citizens' handwritten New Year messages displayed in celebration of the Year of the Red Horse.
Ooh, so who's going to be ringing the bell at midnight?
This year, a total of 21 people will ring the bell together, including Busan Mayor, the City Council Chair, other key officials, and 16 citizens representatives. The citizen participants are ones representing individuals who highlighted Busan this year and symbolize hope for 2026.
Well, with such a crowd expected, we want to know about the safety measures.
Attendance at Yongdusan Park will be capped at 7,000 with limited entry if necessary.
Okay.
To ensure safe return, pedestrian-only hours on Gwangbong-lo will be extended and public transportation will run until around 1 a.m.
All right. Thanks for giving us a lowdown on this, plus all the local news. Once again, welcome to the Morning Wave and Busan family, and have a happy New Year. We'll check in with you tomorrow. Thank you, Dian.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. I'll be back with your traffic and weather. It's now 7:18. Here's your traffic report. It looks busy on Dongso overpass from Pumnikor ramp to the old Kaegum toll gate. Congestion on Luno Samsungdaero from Myeongji underpass to Shinho Bridge. It's also slow on Jungwangdaero from Seil Hospital to Choryang intersection right now. It is currently 0. Under clear skies in Busan, it's expected to go up to just 3 degrees today. Across the nation, a chilly day to wrap up 2025 with most areas seeing morning lows of -5 degrees or even colder. And snow is forecast for the Jeolla regions. This was your traffic and weather. This is Dear 2026 by Our Jiun, also known as 카더라. It's time for top stories. We have Haley in the studio. Let's say hi first. Hello.
안녕.
We were all doing it off here. 안녕. And we're like,
that's how we're gonna greet each other now.
we're gonna just leave it to Tianchi because,
Yeah. Yeah.
Haley has a great singing voice, but
not as good. Professional.
yes. Well, text topic time. So, what say you, Haley, in terms of things that went well, things that you regret?
Things that went well, I think mostly taking care of myself, just physically, and then I
Yes.
think mentally, family relations, mostly social relations.
Yes.
Regrettable things, tech issues, tech glitches, internet connections, and
Things that make us sweat. 진땀나게 하는.
Yes. It's a little hot in here. Yes.
All right. Well, thanks for sharing. We're going to dive into our top stories States, the National Assembly yesterday held a multi-committee hearing into Coupang's various issues. And as this is going on, the e-commerce giant is facing multiple police investigations. Let's get into the industrial accidents cases. And so what's going on?
Right. So this was addressed at the committee meeting yesterday. However, the Seoul Metropolitan Police has taken over the case involving Coupang's alleged concealment and minimization of its industrial accident deaths.
Yes.
So the Union of Parcel Delivery Workers filed complaints against Coupang founder Kim Bum-seok for allegedly attempting to destroy evidence and violating the Industrial Safety and Welfare Act. So this particularly pertains to the death of this worker, late Jang Deok-jun, who died in 2020 after alleged overwork, according to the union.
Yes.
However, the union argues that the founder and also the corporation, they did not acknowledge it's their responsibility and minimized and concealed the case.
And the police have warned of serious consequences in case of evidence tampering.
Right, so this applies to the ongoing investigation regarding the overwork case, but also the new data breach case.
Yes.
Last week, so we're going to the data breach case, and that pertains to the perjury issue. So Coupang said that it has tracked down the Chinese employee who allegedly leaked the information of millions of its customers.
Yes.
And apparently in that process sent in a diver into the waters to retrieve that laptop that was apparently disposed of in the sea.
Okay.
However, the police say that Coupang officials only testified to them as to how they came across the laptop, but failed to mention that the company conducted its own digital forensics into the laptop, which the police see as problematic as a unilateral investigation. So the head of Seoul Police, Park Jung-bo, said that such quote-unquote self-forensic into its own case is unprecedented, although he also added it's hard to say that whether it would be in obstruction of the investigation.
I see. Well, the parliament actually decided to file perjury complaints against Coupang for this investigation.
Right, so it's building upon this particular incident. So interim CEO Harold Rogers said that the company's investigation and even communication with the suspect was at the request, or his words, direction of the National Intelligence Service, or the NIS. And the company initially did not want to contact the suspect.
Okay.
However, Harold Rogers said that the NIS allegedly told Coupang that it needed to cooperate, and it was their understanding that this request or order was legally binding under Korean law.
Okay.
Rogers added that the company's reps met with the suspect in China, but that he did not have the name of the NIS agent who apparently contacted them, at least at the moment.
I see. So what did the NIS say about this claim?
Right. So the intelligence service said that it has never given any orders or directives to Coupang and actually asked the National Assembly Science and Broadcasting Committee to file perjury charges or complaints against Coupang. The committee's chair, Chae Min-hee, agreed to do so.
Wow.
Right.
So this is obviously an evolving story. We'll keep tabs on it. Looks like it's going to go into 2026, obviously. All right, let's move on to our next story. Democratic Party floor leader Kim Byung-gi tendered his resignation after days of controversy.
Right, so ruling party's floor leader Kim Byung-gi announced yesterday morning that he would resign from that post as various allegations have been mounting against him and his family. So Kim said during a Democratic Party meeting at the National Assembly that these acts fell far short of the public's common sense and said that he was taking responsibility for his shortcomings. So regarding why it took him so long to resign, he said that he had a hard time coming to terms with these accusations, getting blown out of proportion, and becoming an issue of speculation and even entertainment. However, he said that he's reached this conclusion that his actions should not dilute the duty of the position for the success of the Lee Jae-myung administration.
I see. Well, what were the issues that dragged him down?
Right. So it is one after another. They involved improper and or even potentially illegal behavior by Kim or his family's private life. And multiple complaints have been filed against across police stations throughout Seoul. So the number one, there's the allegation that Kim allegedly exerted influence to get his son a job at the National Intelligence Service, or the NIS. And a voice recording between his wife and an NIS official has surfaced, adding to these allegations.
Okay.
To that end, actually, there are also new allegations that his son, after he got a job at the NIS, tried to get his father, or at least the office's help in some intel work.
Oh.
Right. For another son, a younger son. Kim allegedly attempted to play a part in his younger son's transfer to Sungsil University, including getting his aides involved. The son did eventually get into the university, although we, of course, all our allegations as to how much his father's office was involved.
Yes.
Other family-related allegations involve family members getting preferential treatment at a domestic airline, from a local hospital, and even private usage of public funding.
Oh, wow. So the lawmaker himself, though, I hear, is facing allegations involving corporations as well?
Right. So far I've recapped some family-related
Right.
issues, but he himself is also facing some allegations as well. And these are actually tied to Coupang. And that's kind of how things came to public light with the data breach. So there were allegations that lawmaker Kim Byung-gi had lunch with then Coupang Korea CEO Park Dae-jun, who's since resigned, back in September. And that would have been in violation of the Anti-Graft Act and the amount that the lunch came to.
I see.
There are also accusations of him receiving 1.6 million won hotel voucher from Korean Air. But this was while he was serving on the Parliamentary Transportation Committee, and the committee at that time was dealing with that Korean Air Asiana Airlines merger.
Okay, so lots of allegations about his family and also the person himself. We're going to move on to our next story. We went over some major local issues in the opening. When it comes to nationwide issues, though, the stock market was certainly among the top stories.
Right. I mean, talking about a low and a high started on one of the lowest, ending on the highest yet. So it was a wild ride for the benchmark Kospi index. So the Kospi started this year in last place amongst major global stock market indexes, having lost about 10% last year due to the martial law declaration in the market capitalization. However, this year, just by the margin of increase, Kospi at the very top of the list by far.
Yes.
Specifically, the Kospi started the year with the low of 2,399.49 points. Yesterday ended the year with a 75% gain at 4,214 points.
Wow.
That is, again, increase of almost 76%, highest margin of increase. Let's look at second place, Chile, which made 57% gains to Korea's 76. Japan gained overall 27%, the NASDAQ 22%.
Oh, so these are kind of big numbers.
Oh, huge,
across the board.
huge.
So what may have contributed to these massive gains?
I mean, we had a lot to gain, just to get that out of the way, but also the political atmosphere with the new administration. The Lee Jae-myung administration put the stock market at the forefront of its policy, one of the forefronts, and to turn this into a major investment instead of real estate. That drive is still ongoing.
Right.
The AI boom also led to especially Samsung Electronics and SK Hynix gaining massive numbers because these major chip makers are in high demand.
Okay, so this is for 2025. The big question, will this rally continue next year? Which is tomorrow.
Right, which is what a lot of investors are wondering. And that seems to be the general consensus among expert market watchers. So key factors they're citing, global expansion and liquidity. So more cash will be flowing. The AI investment cycle is still strong. And also the South Korean government will continue to support the market. The goal or / projection is that the Kospi may hit 5,000 points, although there will be highs and lows as well. However, experts are looking at the window of about 3,500 to 5,000 next year. Some uncertainties that might drag the numbers down, the local elections in South Korea, the midterm elections in the U.S., all scheduled for next year. There are also concerns of, well, yes, the AI boom is strong, but is that a bubble? So those uncertainties may still linger, and what central banks will do with interest rates.
Yes. So we will, of course, keep an eye on all of this and relay that information to our waivers. All right, wrapping up another major story from this year, the National Data Center fire. This was a huge issue that stopped so many public services. And the entire system, has it been fully restored?
As of yesterday, which took months as opposed to, well, initially we heard days and then it got to weeks. So the Interior Ministry said that as of 9:30 yesterday morning, all 709 administrative services have been restored from the Daejeon data center fire in September from the lithium-ion battery. So the ministry said that it'll still check over the individual systems, will also work to improve the fundamental infrastructure and system for data safety and disaster recovery.
Yes. Well, let's move on to some international news. news. U.S. President Donald Trump has also wrapped up his diplomatic agenda for the year with 2 high-profile meetings at his Mar-a-Lago home.
Right, so back-to-back meetings have been happening as President Trump is still playing a peacemaker role of sorts in the 2 ongoing wars in Ukraine and Gaza. So earlier this week, President Trump met with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and also followed that meeting up with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu in Florida. He also spoke to Russian President Vladimir Putin on the phone.
Well, let's talk about first Trump's meeting with Netanyahu.
Right, because that meeting was wrapping up as our show was ongoing yesterday.
Yes.
So let's go over some key takeaways. So the key is getting to phase 2 of the ongoing Gaza ceasefire, which some of the key points here, getting Hamas to disarm, which basically means to give up their weapons.
Right.
That has been naturally the major sticking point. So Trump here took a stern tone, saying that Hamas will only have a short period of time to disarm, and then things will be horrible for them otherwise. He said there will be heck to pay, basically. Trump said also there are some unnamed countries that have previously supported Hamas but will not attack them if Hamas or will attack them if they don't disarm.
Okay.
Trump doubled down on his support for Israel, including a new Israeli attack on Iran against its ballistic missiles capabilities.
But it wasn't all rosy.
No, a sticking territorial matter between the U.S. and Israel is the West Bank. So
Yes.
moving away from Gaza, where there's been a wave of violence by Israeli settlers against Palestinians. And President Trump said that they don't agree on the West Bank 100%. However, the meeting still, it seems, at least in front of the cameras, ended on a high note with Prime Minister Netanyahu offering Trump the Israel Prize, making President Trump the first non-Israeli to receive this high honor.
Oh, very telling. Well, thank you for going over all the top stories, not just for today, for the entire season, the entire year. And of course, we'll check in with you now in our number 2. Thank you, Haley.
See you in a bit.
It is time to take another breather. This is 하늘을 달리다 by 허각.
두근거렸지 누군가 나의 뒤를 쫓고 있었고 검은 절벽 끝 더 이상 발 디딜 곳 하나 없었지 자꾸 목이 메여 간절히 네 이름을 되뇌었을 때 귓가에 울리는 그대의 뜨거운 목소리 그게 나의 구원이었어 마른 하늘을 달려 나 그대에게 안길 수만 있으면 내 몸 부서진대도 좋아 서로 너무 태양 가까이 날아 두 다리 모두 녹아내린다고 해도 내 맘 그대 마음속으로 영원토록 달려갈 거야 내가 미웠지 난 결국 이것밖에 안 돼 보였고 오랜 꿈들이 공허한 어린 날의 착각 같았지 울먹임을 참고 난 몰래 네 이름을 속삭였을 때 귓가에 울리는 그대의 뜨거운 목소리 그게 나의 희망이었어 마른 하늘을 달려 나 그대에게 안길 수만 있으면 내 몸 부서진대도 좋아 서로 너무 태양 가까이 날아 두 다리 모두 녹아내린다고 해도 내 맘 그대 마음속으로
It's time for Now Next. We have Leon in the studio. Let's see what she has brought us today. Good morning.
Good morning.
Can you believe it is the very last day of 2025? Are you excited?
I have no feelings, but I'm not sad or excited.
Really?
Yeah, it doesn't hit me yet. I feel like it's still 2025.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow when I see the calendar, flip it around, I'm like,
Yes.
1월 1일? Then, well, it'll hit me.
Yes. Looking back, any, ups, downs?
I think ups. In terms of ups, I did what I wanted to do, which was my plan in the beginning of this year was to kind of create this own world of me alone.
Yes.
Yes, so do what I love, to find people that I want to be around with.
Sure.
And on the downside of that, though, I think I was too self-centered. In terms of, I've always wanted to do volunteer work, 봉사활동, in like for any types of community that they need help. But I'm guilty to say this, but it's just always in the top, like at the back of my head. I never pulled through with any of it. So next year, I think, I don't want to be too ambitious, but at least once every quarter. Like 1분기에는 한 번씩은 해보고 싶다.
Right.
Yes.
Specific goals, good.
Yes, giving back to the community in some sort of way.
Okay, well, maybe we can, all think about that.
Yes.
Seriously, yes. Well, let's jump into the final segment for this year. So, what do you have for us?
So, because it is the end of the year, the last day of the year, I thought it would be interesting to kind of look back at 2025, the different trends that shaped this year and kind of the general mood of this year as well.
Okay.
So for many people, especially the younger generation, this year hasn't been about chasing more and being ambitious with where they are. It was more about managing what already exists, what they already have in their hands. So rather than focusing on growth, it was keeping their position of where they are and just kind of managing their anxiety, managing their expectations from others, and really managing their energy at where they are.
Yes. Instead of like pushing forward and being like, really ambitious, people are learning how to say, I guess, kind of balance.
Yeah, I think that was a kind of a key word as well, the balance. And that shift kind of shows up everywhere, where how people work, how they spend their money, what they buy, and even how they rest. And so if we had to summarize 2025 in one phrase, I think it would be something like less expansion and more control with what you already have.
Sure.
So let's start with one of the clearest signs of that shift is one of the ways that people socialize has changed. For years, you've heard that keyword FOMO, which was fear of missing out. People felt a lot of pressure to attend all the gatherings, keep up with the trends, stay constantly connected and tuned into what everyone else is doing. But now, this year, it was all about the JOMO.
JOMO? Yeah,
FOMO가 아니라 JOMO.
So what's the J for?
The J is not the fear of missing out. It's the joy of missing out. So people were choosing to miss out.
They were okay with opting out.
Yes,
right?
basically. So instead of feeling anxious about, not being everywhere, people were intentionally choosing to step back. They don't want to go out late nights, have late nights. They don't want to be overloaded by social events. And they don't want to have to be feeling like they have to be constantly available. So they were choosing quieter routines and smaller social circles.
Sure.
And studies show that many young people are now avoiding frequent social outings, and a large percentage report preferring non-alcoholic options as well.
Right.
We've talked about how, these beverages have been very popular this year when they do go out. So they don't want to go all crazy and, test their limits. They all just want to keep it all in control.
I get it. So it's not necessarily being antisocial.
Yeah.
It's more of a controlled kind of being selective about who you want to hang out with.
Exactly. And it's all about this intentional withdrawal. It's a way of protecting mental space in a world that constantly demands attention. And this mindset also shows up in lifestyle choices, spending habits, and so on. And there's this term in parts of Asia called the mouse people.
The what?
G.
Oh, G.
G.
G. Okay. Yes.
But these people refer to those who prefer staying home and who avoid social exposure and keeping their world small and manageable. And there's also terms like stay inside generation as well, who also basically talk about the same group of people who want to stay inside.
So digging deeper, what's the reason behind this?
Right. So today's younger generation is, like I said before, choosing stability over growth.
Yes.
Because of the economic uncertainty and also, we're all experiencing this type of a burnout from the prolonged economic uncertainty. And the trends like rat people lifestyles, or there's also something called grandma era, where everyone's kind of living like a grandma in their house alone doing their small things.
Right.
They all reflect a desire for comfort, routine, and also emotional safety. And so this is, again, driven by economic pressure, job insecurity, and they feel like they could at least control what they can do with their lives in their protected own world in the house.
It makes sense.
Yes. They're kind of redefining success as balance instead of like achieving and getting somewhere.
Okay. So that was a look back, the general mood of what I guess people, but also younger people are experiencing and choosing how they live their lives, right?
Yes.
All right, well, let's move on to our next trend. What is it?
Right. So, and this also nicely leads to the next trend that we saw this year, which is the change in way young people view their futures. For previous generations, adulthood, being an adult meant like, we are going to grow in terms of our career. We're going to have our own house, go up the social ladder.
Yes.
But for many today, that ladder feels very unstable and unreachable at times.
Okay.
So their priorities is shifting. Again, it's more about stability. So this is where we saw the rise of the so-called 니트족이라고 하던데요 in the Korean news articles, but it's an English term, NEET.
Okay.
So basically, we're talking about young adults who are not. So the N is a not in E, employment, E, education, or T, training. So people who are deliberately delaying traditional career paths and just kind of in this stagnant mode are what we refer to as the NEET people. And in some countries, a significant percentage of people in their 20s and 30s, early 30s, are living with their parents, not necessarily because they're out of failure, but this is a pragmatic choice.
Yes.
And according to the International Labor Organization, about 20% of young people worldwide were classified as NEET last year.
Okay.
So it is quite a big percentage, and a lot of people, young adults, are choosing to stay in this mode.
Yes, but I mean, when you think about that, 20%, that is not an insignificant percentage of the young people who fall into this category.
Exactly. And so for many people, it's not about ambition disappearing. Again, it's about, given the harsh economic reality, they're taking this moment to take a little bit of a break and redefine success in their own ways.
Sure.
And so there's also the shift in career choices that a lot of people are making as well. Because previously we thought the jobs we all thought we wanted the prestigious driven jobs where the typical very stable big company jobs, but some people are choosing to work choosing work that allows them to stay close to home. Others are pursuing roles that offer stability rather than status.
Right.
So there's also this rise in non-traditional career paths, like more freelance work.
Yes.
Or gig based income, project-based income, or a lot of people are also choosing support roles in that don't fit the traditional corporate ladder, but very one-time, short-time.
Exactly. So I see people around me. I have multiple roles and things I do as well.
Yes,
I mean, of course, I have my health insurance is paid by my school. But then, with their permission, I am free to do other, roles like broadcasting. My school knows I'm here. I got their permission. I signed a little thing. So
right.
But I mean, it's so common. It's not just for myself, but I mean, I know many people who do it, right? So, it does seem that there is a shift going on. So
Yes.
in terms of like work and whatnot. But also, I do want to touch upon our next topic because I know you're so into it, like health, right?
Yes.
I mean, in
Health
a
is-
really good, positive way. Yeah.
Health is a big trend because it's also a way for people to take control of their lives, right? It's something that they can do.
Yes.
It's not unpredictable. It's choosing to do something with your own body is
Sure.
something very manageable. So that's
Right.
also one of the reasons why a lot of young people have been very health oriented this year as well.
Right.
So running, which is, we all know I'm obsessed about, but there's walking, Pilates, yoga. These all have been taken off, very trendy.
Yes.
And, data shows that the participation in the running and fitness activities continue to rise.
Sure.
According to a Gallup Korea survey, the participation rate in jogging and running has steadily increased from 23% back in 2021 to 32% in 2023. And also, on top of the rising population of runners here in Korea, there's also the popularity of wearable devices.
Yes.
Like the tracking steps and with the smartwatches that are very, designed just for running.
Yes, yes.
And so these tools have become gaining a lot of popularity as well.
Absolutely. I even, took up, I wouldn't call myself a runner.
When's the last time you went running?
I'll be honest. After I injured my left foot, I took a little
while
break.
you were running?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was like I was just doing it like 한꺼번에 like too much.
Oh, I see.
And then so my goal is to get back on that exercise ladder and continue because I really enjoyed it when I was doing it.
Oh, really?
And I feel like, I've rested enough. My doctor said, he advised take some time off. And then now I'm looking forward to
Get
maybe
back.
tomorrow.
Are you running outside or indoors?
Outside.
Outside. That's
I like
a true
outside.
runner in this weather, in
I
this
wouldn't call
time of
myself
the year.
a runner.
No,
Jogger.
No, you are a true jogger. If you're running in this weather, it's
Right.
진짜 respect.
I mean, maybe tomorrow, but I heard tomorrow's going to be even colder. So I don't know. Maybe
During the day,
second.
I think Busan is okay yet.
Yes,
still.
yes. So, any other things that we need to take note of?
Yes. So one more thing, if we have time.
Yes.
So we talked about our external health, but a lot of people have been really interested in taking care of their inner health as well. So we've talked about the olive oil lemon shots
Yes.
this year. I've done it for like 3 days. I couldn't do it more than that. 저는 한 번만 해보고 이런 거군. But this was a part of the bigger trend called 저속노화 trend. There was a lot of books in the bookstores about how to age slowly with this 저속노화. Basically, it's methods that you can do, foods that you can eat to slow down your aging process.
Yes.
And so rather than chasing quick results, people were focusing on long-term health and sustainable habits.
Right.
So people are very focused on taking, whole foods like vegetable protein and healthy oils instead of, having to extremely restrict themselves.
Sure.
They were taking it kind of long-term. And also, again, exercising on top of that was a very big trend as well. So taking
Absolutely.
care of your inner care and also exercise was a trend of this year.
So as we look toward 2026, I'm curious for you, Leon, do you have any new goals?
In terms of exercising?
Whether it's exercising or anything else, because you said 2025 was all about you.
Yes.
And I think, what? I like that. The fact that, you made 2025 about yourself. You chose to do it. You stuck to it. Right?
Right.
So what about for next year?
For next year, I don't have anything in mind. It would be great if I could continue whatever I started this year.
Okay.
Because I'm a very bad person at being consistent. 저는 얕고 넓게 가는 걸 좋아해요. 근데 하나를 깊게 파보고 싶다는 생각을 했는데 whether it's running or reading or I want to be have a deep understanding of one area. That's kind of one goal that I would have.
Okay. Well, here's hoping that you can see your goal out.
Yes.
Get some success in that area. Wishing you nothing but the best. Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
All right, everybody. This was Leon for our final segment just for this year. She'll be back next year as well. Let's get to our final song for hour number 1. This is 뜨거운 안녕 by Psy. I'll be back at 8.
That's why
지워버려 미팅 소개팅으로 재부팅해버려 너의 모든 걸 삭제 맘대로 안돼 가슴과 머리가 따로 논단 소리 Baby I am sorry 아침부터 밤까지 하나부터 열까지 다 같이 했기 때문에 너무 힘들어 입술을 깨무네 술 끼면 억지로 잠을 재우네 술도 수면제도 너를 못 이겨 또 밤을 새우네 왜 헤어졌냐 자존심 때문에 소중했던 내 사랑을 이젠 안녕 그래 이젠 안녕 찬란하게 반짝이는 눈동자야 그래 눈동자야 사랑했던 날들이여 이젠 안녕 그래 이젠 안녕 달빛 아래 타오르는 붉은 입술 그래 붉은 입술 그리워 어지러워 서러워 기분 더러워 One more time 그리워 어지러워 서러워 기분 더러워 하나뿐인 목숨을 바치고 같은 날 생을 마치고 나 같은 놈에게 이 모든 걸 사치고 닥치고 아디오스 소중했던 내 사랑을 이젠 안녕 그래 이젠 안녕 찬란하게 반짝이는 눈동자야
I was so busy this morning. I didn't even get to check my messages. I almost got hit.
Here comes the safety hero. Stop right there, Smombi. Put your phone away. Keep your head up. Look around.
What was I doing? Thank you. I'm finally free from being a smombie.
As you just heard, even a quick text could lead to a serious accident. This kind of behavior has a name, smombi, a word created by combining smartphone and zombie.
Walk with your head up and check your surroundings before you move. Let's build a safer traffic culture and keep our streets free from smombies. This campaign is brought to you by BEFM 부산영어방송.
지금 방송 광고라는 부메랑을 던져보세요. 소비자를 향해 정확히 날아가는 광고, 힘차게 돌아가는 경제, 부메랑처럼 다시 기업의 이익으로 되돌아오니까요. 방송 광고, 경제에 큰 힘이 됩니다. 부산 방송광고발전협의회.
The time is now 8 o'clock.
Welcome back, everybody. It's time for Spotlight News. President Lee Jae-myung to make state visit to China in January. President Lee Jae-myung will make a state visit to China from January 4th to the 7th and hold a summit with Chinese President Xi Jinping to discuss bilateral cooperation and economic ties, according to Cheongwadae yesterday. He is scheduled to depart for Beijing on Sunday for the summit and travel to Shanghai next week before returning home. It marks Lee's first visit to China since taking office in June and the first state visit to China by a South Korean president since 2017. The visit comes as Lee has pledged to manage relations with China in a stable manner. Coupang CEO faces perjury and parliamentary questioning over data leak. The National Intelligence Service, or NIS, yesterday dismissed the interim Coupang CEO's claim that the spy agency directed the company to conduct an internal probe and requested the National Assembly to file a complaint against the executive over alleged perjury. Lawmakers grilled Coupang executives, including interim CEO Harold Rogers, over the massive data leak, its unilateral investigation, and subsequent compensation plan. Lawmakers criticized the company's compensation plan as a cheap trick, while Rogers defended the plan, citing its voluntary nature and the total amount of nearly 1.7 trillion won. Government estimates a shortage of 11,000 doctors by 2040. The Medical Personnel Estimation Committee said that there may be as many as 11,000 doctors in shortage by the year 2040, with this figure to be the basis for discussions on the medical school quota expansion next year. The committee, an independent body under the health minister, came up with the figures based on the medical usage rate and future population projections. The chair of the committee, Kim Tae-hyun, said that the estimates are a result of independent, in-depth discussions among committee members and expressed hopes for thorough social discussions in future medical school quota. KT to waive contract cancellation fees following data breach. KT Corporation announced yesterday that it will waive cancellation fees for customers who wish to terminate their contracts with the mobile carrier following a major data breach involving a series of unauthorized micropayments. KT said users can apply to unsubscribe from today through January 13th. And the policy will also apply to customers who have already canceled their subscription since September 1st. The company will offer further a 2-year insurance program covering losses caused by voice phishing or scams. Users aged 65 and older will be automatically enrolled without a separate application. China holds military drills around Taiwan. China has fired rockets into waters off Taiwan and showcased new assault ships on Tuesday local time in its most extensive war games to date as a warning to separatist forces. Named Justice Mission 2025, the drills began 11 days after the U.S. announced a record $11.1 billion arms package to Taiwan, drawing sharp protests from Beijing. Taiwan's presidential office has criticized the upcoming Chinese drills, calling them a challenge to international norms. U.S. lawmakers and the European Union condemn Beijing's actions as undermining regional peace and stability, although U.S. President Donald Trump has downplayed the drills. This was Spotlight News. It's time for your final special interview for 2025 waivers. As U.S. President Donald Trump began his second term this past year, both domestic and foreign policies have been under the spotlight. From debates over healthcare, the economy, and social issues to major decisions on international alliances and obviously trade. Trump's policies have shaped political discussions across the country. Let's be honest, around the world, right? Because we're talking about him here in Busan. So in this interview, we're going to look back at the key political trends of 2025 and explore what they could mean for the United States in 2026. Joining us is Professor Grant Reeher, Senior Research Associate in the Campbell Public Affairs Institute and a Professor of Political Science at Syracuse University's Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs. Hi, Professor. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. It's great to be with you right at the end of the year. Yes.
Yes, it makes it so much more meaningful. We wanted to end it on a high note, so hence you're here. So looking back on 2025, what would you say were the most significant political developments in the United States?
Well, I think you really actually hit it on the head with the last thing you said before you brought me on. I was thinking about this question or a version of it, and I have to say that this past year, more than any other year in what is becoming now for me a long life, I cannot remember ever the degree to which a single person has dominated the political discussion and the political agenda, both in the United States and, as you pointed out, around the world. The degree to which Donald Trump has controlled what we are talking about and what we are reacting to is unprecedented in my lifetime. And so I have to say, that's the biggest single thing. It's an abstract kind of thing, but it is the same. And we can unpack the different things that are involved in what the administration has been doing. But that aspect more than anything else. I mean, Donald Trump has a very, very big ego, but I have to say that in terms of his level of fame in the United States and the world, he has succeeded beyond what even must have been his wildest dreams.
Yes. Everything you're saying right now, it makes so much sense right now. In terms of the domestic issues like the economy or healthcare or social policies, how did they shape the political debates, the discussions that were had in this past year?
Well, I think there were some big ones. The concern about the rising costs of healthcare got boiled down into this one question that caused the government shutdown, which was whether there would be an extension of government subsidies for a particular set of people who purchase their health insurance through these state-level exchanges that were set up by Obamacare a decade and a half earlier. But that's been a concern. More generally, concerns about the economy and inflation and the way that people in the middle income categories in particular and the lower middle income categories have experienced that as a continuation from the Biden administration. There was a promise that there would be relief from this, and we really haven't seen that. The tariffs, and you mentioned trade before, those have been a huge issue and have had an effect on prices, but have had an effect on economics more generally here and around the world. That's something that next year I think is going to get resolved one way or another because the Supreme Court will have to make a final decision about those. And that is something that is up in the air. And then obviously the way that the administration has dealt with immigration, that's both a domestic issue but an international issue, international implications. But that has been very, very significant, particularly in turning some of the public opinion against the president over the course of this year, because the United States government has taken a very heavy hand in that here domestically. So those are some of the big ones that come to my mind right away.
Yes, indeed. In terms of the political polarization, Professor, there's been a lot of it this past year. I don't think that's an understatement. So how much of this, though, the political polarization has affected the policymaking and governance?
Well, I don't know if in your country there is this commercial, but there is a television commercial right now in the United States featuring LeBron James. LeBron James is a huge basketball figure here.
Yes.
He's called the King. And it features LeBron James saying, it's everything. Well, to answer this, it's everything. The political polarization has been driving everything. Every single issue is seen through that lens, and the sides are picked, and then each side digs in, and whatever the other side wants to do is not only wrong-headed, but evil. Now, political polarization is not new in the United States.
Right.
Deep levels of it are not new. They have been building for 40 years here. But they have reached a level, again, that I have not seen in my lifetime. And they are wrapped up within this kind of reaction to Donald Trump. You can't really separate the two, but it's been incredibly significant, whether we're thinking about the government shutdown, whether we're thinking about the impasse on healthcare and insurance premium assistance, whether we're thinking about the ways that tariffs are viewed, immigration. Everything gets run through that polarization lens.
Yes. In terms of the main foreign policy challenges for the U.S., looking back on this year, I mean, looking outward from the U.S.'s perspective, first word that pops into my head, of course, the tariffs, right? Anything else that really marked the U.S. in terms of foreign policy?
Absolutely. The two big ones are the two wars, the two wars that either were going on or are still going on. The war in Ukraine has been an enormous issue for the Trump administration. Again, there were promises that would be ended fairly quickly. That has proven more difficult than claimed, but there does seem to be some slow progress being made. And then the conflict in Gaza with Israel. That was very, very important because for the first time, the United States and its support of Israel was pretty isolated in the world and sort of stood out there. It's always been an outlier in terms of its rock solid support for Israel. Domestically, that is being challenged, particularly in the Democratic Party. And internationally, I think we saw ourselves more as kind of a lone player out there. And then the other big thing, you touched upon it in your first story in your quick news segment there, is the issue with China and how will that relationship play out? And that is obviously going to be very important for the foreseeable future. But I think that is going to be a big issue, was a big issue in this past year and will be a big issue going forward. And then the last thing, if I could, is bilateralism versus multilateralism. That was a big change that the Trump administration made. And again, looking at one of the stories that you talked about with your president going to have a state visit in China, it seems to be catching around the world, this emphasis on bilateralism when we used to emphasize multilateralism more.
Yes. And looking at the relationship, Korea versus U.S., U.S. versus Korea, this relationship, how do you feel that it's evolved? Because, obviously there was turmoil here politically in Korea at the beginning of the year, from the year prior as well. And then stability, we had a new president inaugurated. So what's your take?
Well, I think that this relationship is probably going to get deeper and stronger as we go forward. And I think China is a big reason for that. Our countries, I think, share a view that we need to get along with China, but we're also worried about China.
Yes.
You obviously have a very problematic history when it comes to China. And so that is one piece. And the other piece is the fact that the United States has been trying to restart a shipbuilding enterprise, and you're one of the few countries outside of China that does that. And so I think that's going to be a source of cooperation as well.
Yes. And as we look toward the new year, 2026, anything that we should be keeping an eye on, whether it's events or trends that might be happening in the U.S.?
Well, I think, first of all, the midterm elections that are going to be at the end of 2026 are going to be enormously important for not only what the Trump administration is able to do in its final 2 years, but just what its general level of political capital will be. So I think as I would be watching how the debates and how the conversation pointing toward that election is going. And if the Trump administration and the Republican Party can avoid a lot of deep bloodletting in that midterm election, then they may be able to do some things in their final 2 years. If they really get hit hard and the Democrats retake the House of Representatives by a fair margin, which I expect is a real possibility, retaking the Senate would be a lot harder, but people are now talking about that. If that were to happen, then you're going to be then in kind of a long-term holding pattern waiting for 2028 and the next presidential election.
I see. Well, thank you for taking a look back on 2025 with us. And of course, wishing you a happy new year and looking forward to future interviews with you as well, Professor.
I would like that. And I have to say, I have really enjoyed the conversations that we have had in 2025. So thanks for making me a part of your program.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for coming on with us once again. Wishing you the best. Once again, everybody, this was Professor Grant Reeher. And here's hoping that we are able to converse with them even more in the future. We're going to take a look at the traffic and weather. So I'll be back with it in just a moment.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning입니다.
Good morning.
좋은 아침입니다.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan. Major news, local buzz, and expert takes. It's all here on Morning Wave in Busan. Brighten up your morning commute with Morning Wave in Busan.
Morning wave in Busan.
There's an update on traffic and weather. There's an accident on Buam Overpass going toward the Yeonji three-way intersection right now. Please be aware of that area. And there's a cargo truck that has broken down on Cheongwan Sanuplo going towards Cheongwan, right inside the Gomnae Tunnel. It's causing backup as well. There is congestion on Chungjangdaero from pier number 5 to pier number 3. It's also looking slow on Mandokdaero from Minam to Mandok intersection. Currently, it is 1 degree Celsius under clear skies here in Busan. It's going to go up just a little bit more to maybe 3 as our high for today. Across the nation, it is a chilly day to wrap up this year. Most areas seeing morning lows of -5. That is really cold. Snow is forecast for the Cholla regions. This was your traffic and weather. This is Wagle. Haley's back for this, as endorsed by President. As Professor Grant Reeher, he liked this segment.
Aww.
He told me off air.
I like him so much.
I know.
So insightful. And I like him even better now that he likes my segment. I hope you're listening.
Yes. Well, let's dive into our first story. Artificial intelligence. Like I mentioned it during the opening, right? AI this, AI that. All the top words were about AI. And it really has changed everything, including how quickly people can become billionaires.
Today's Wagle tea time is like the billionaire report, the rich report of sorts. Also, it has been AI this and AI that. But if you think back on it, ChatGPT, which was the AI that changed everything, was only released on November 30th of 2022.
Really?
Yeah. Which, if you think about it, not many years, but it has really, truly changed the world. But new money has been popping up left and right, not to my left nor my right, but someone's left and right, especially after the advent of ChatGPT, November 30th of 2022. So the New York Times reported that in the 3 years since ChatGPT appeared on the scene, new AI billionaires have appeared in droves.
Oh, yes. So 3 years, once again, is an awfully short time to me, anyways, to think about becoming a billionaire.
I mean, will we be able to become a billionaire if we were given 330 years? Maybe 300?
Billionaire if we're counting won, maybe.
Right. Okay, maybe.
Yes.
But let's compare this to who doesn't even seem like old money, but Elon Musk, who's like medium age money, I guess, who founded X.com in 1999. So this is when he appeared on the scene, which would go on to become PayPal.
Okay.
And then he has his whole other, list of companies, SpaceX, Tesla. He finally became a billionaire in 2012. So that's like 13 years.
Yes.
Compare that to Mira Murati from OpenAI, which created ChatGPT. He reached $10 billion in market value for his startup after he left OpenAI that he opened up in 4 months.
4 months?
4 months, $10 billion in market value. Another OpenAI alum, Ilya Sutskever, also became a billionaire after his startup took off. But here's the thing. His company hadn't even released a product.
And
he's still a billionaire.
Wow.
Again, market value. How the market values him, $32 billion to be precise. Again, I mean, he did come from OpenAI.
Yes,
he did have a part in creating ChatGPT, but still. So why, how? Well, the New York Times analyzed that investors are raising market value almost competitively for these individuals, raising the value in short amount of time. Another trait, these AI billionaires naturally are young in their 20s and 30s.
Young and rich. Yes.
Mind blown. That was the sound.
Right, and I just kept on hearing 한숨 from our 계속 기자님이 자꾸 이러시네요. 네.
We all went to the wrong major.
Oh yeah. I mean,
all of us.
What's poli-sci going to get
Journalism,
for us, right?
poli-sci, I mean.
Yes. Okay, so apart from the whole age thing, some things didn't change.
Like gender. It is a boys' club.
Yes.
Most billionaires are men, except for like 1 or 2 exceptions. So experts are saying that this AI boom is actually strengthening the industry's homogenous nature. STEM, science, tech, engineering, and math still being male-dominated. It is also important to note that, however, these new billionaires' wealth is based on market value, not realization, not action. Again, one company doesn't even have a product yet.
Yes.
So they are sometimes called paper billionaires.
All right, for our next story, now that we're all deflated, let's go to, it's old money. It's Haley and how they feel about their children inheriting their wealth.
Right, so we might not be billionaires, but some of us, you, have children, namely you.
Okay.
And for our listeners, say you're wealthy, maybe you are, maybe we just say, would you want your children to be raised as like 금수저, like the silver spoon, like no hardship, like here's the road pay for you? Or do you want them to have a part-time job, have like a quote-unquote normal or like an average life?
I would, if I were theoretically wealthy, I'm not, I would want to have like set aside a little bit of a nest egg for them to, get to later on in life. Maybe a trust fund when they're like way later, right? But I would want them, and my kids do, they are, practical, pragmatic kids, right?
They are.
Yeah.
And you are in line with the mindset of old money in South Korea.
Old money.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we have that in common. So old money in South Korea, they feel that their children should earn their place in life. So previously, we kind of have this 재벌 culture, right?
Right.
Inheritance, succession, corporate tendencies as a family inheritance as a major mode of succession without preconditions. Oh, you're born into the family. here's your wealth and the company.
Mm-hmm.
However, these days, corporate owners and the wealthy in their 60s and 70s, they're feeling social pressure, but also personal philosophy to not let nepotism be the only factor in succession, as well as their own standards playing into it.
Okay, so in theory, it sounds good.
Right.
Is that really the case, though?
I have data. I have survey results from Hanwha Life Insurance. They surveyed their 1,000 top billed customers on wealth. So seniors in their 60s and 70s, they have an average of 6.4 billion won in assets. 91% were self-made with wages and business successes.
Sure.
Because of this, they want their children to be self-sufficient. The whole, pull yourself up by your bootstraps type of a thing. And they're not into just blindly giving their money to their children or letting them inherit or succeed in their companies.
Oh, so what are they looking for?
Capacity, capability, 능력. You, the child, should have your own ability to run this business. So there's been an interesting divide, though. So only 14.6% of these seniors, the parent generation, felt their children, adult children, had that ability to run their companies. Interestingly, 48.6%, so almost half of the children in their 30s and 40s, felt that they were ready. Mom and dad, I'm so ready. Give me your company. So interestingly, I mean, because we do have to factor in inheritance tax, which is a large chunk. But for these uber wealthy, readiness was a bigger factor than inheritance taxes.
Interesting.
But for the children's generation, they kind of wanted things slightly easier, way earlier. They wanted to start getting inheritance around their teens. Yeah, to get the investment going, to be like a truly trust fund funded child. To make that their seed for growth.
Yes, and so we have a message that our producer wants me to read to her parents, saying that she is ready for whatever it is that they want to hand out now. 지금 준비됐대요. 저 아니에요. 우리 PD님이
듣고
준비됐대요.
계시나요?
Yes.
Mama and Papa Joe, are you listening?
Are you listening? All right. What's going on? We have another billionaire story. Are you trying to make us feel bad?
I don't know.
On
That's
the last day of
what the
2025?
news says, and I deliver.
Okay. So apparently the latest addition to this very exclusive billionaire list.
Beyonce.
Oh, she wasn't a billionaire?
I'm seriously, right?
Oh, I thought she already was.
So things that we learned. According to Forbes, she is officially a Forbes billionaire. 5th musician ever to hit that milestone. Who else is on that list? Her husband. Oh my God.
Some people have it all.
Yeah, Jay-Z, as well as Taylor Swift.
Yes.
Bruce Springsteen and Rihanna. So this 5-person musician list is actually majority women and 4 to 2. So this might be surprising again because she wasn't a billionaire before, but her music career has been so successful for decades. But it seems that for a lot of Taylor Swift as well, a lot of musicians, tours are a huge moneymaker. 2023 Renaissance tour brought her over $500 million. It spanned 39 cities. The Renaissance film also grossed $21 million. The Cowboy Carter tour, $400 million. That was the highest grossing country tour in history. Of course, though, she has been building on her musical success since the 90s. She actually debuted as a child in 1990. But of course, Destiny's Child would bring her the first fame. And then her solo career that launched in 2003, right? Beyonce founded Parkwood Entertainment in 2010. So that gave her control over almost every aspect of her music career in-house and, again, building to that wealth.
So what a success story, though. Yes, I love that. And when people...
Talent... Right.
Self-made, yes. All right, for our final story, we often see stickers, this story, on backs of cars like, ooh, baby on board. And then there are some bizarre ones.
Where do you draw the line? Where are you like, oh, that's cute, until like, ugh.
I've seen a couple where like, I would say, I don't know, a little distasteful, but I hear you have some.
I do.
Big ones.
Because in the States we have bumper sticker culture. My kid's an honor student.
Yes.
My favorite one that I've seen, and I laughed, my kid can beat up your honor student.
Can we
That's
explain that
kinda
one?
funny.
그러니까,
우리 자식이 모범생이에요. That's a common bumper sticker. 내 자식이 니네 모범생 한 대 때릴 거예요. But that's like so in jest, joking, not school violence.
Yes.
No. Okay, so 초보 운전, right? Novice driver. And I've seen like, I'm so sorry. Because I'm a novice driver.
Right.
I've been going straight for the past 3 hours.
Yes.
That's another sign. Some are cute.
Right.
Some not so cute. Some are, oof. All right, so according to this online post,
Yes.
this decal on the back of the window says, in case of emergency, rescue me first, not my wife. I want a chance to live with another woman. I'll say that in Korean. 위급시 아내 말구, and that's like incorrect. 아내 말고 저 먼저 구해주세요. I can't say that. 다른 사람하고도 살아보게 꽁요. Yeah, crickets. Crickets. Also the spacing and the spelling issue on that bumper sticker. And I'm like, I don't make judgments usually in Korean, but I mean, all right. So this has gone viral.
Yes.
And a lot of bewilderment, let's just say, in the comments section. Because one netizen said, all right, these stickers, especially 위급시, it's usually a 위급시, like take care of my children first.
Right, like children are on board, so save my children. Yes.
So it's supposed to help first responders in case of accidents. And by the way, the whole point of that baby on board sticker is because there was a tragedy where first responders did not see a child or the car seat.
Exactly.
So the child went unrescued. So we are telling them there's a small person on board. That's not helpful nor funny. Maybe some people find it funny. I don't. By the way, a little bit of, adding to that, the baby on board stickers, they do help. They tell first responders, yes, there's a baby. But I know some people will pay extra for the blood type stickers. That's a marketing hoax. Because no medical professional will transfuse blood into anyone based on a sticker.
That's true.
Right, because, I mean, yes, your child might be but you might have your nephew on board instead of your child. So they will always test the blood. So just keep that in mind.
And so these stickers are inappropriate, at least the one that you just read out. But there are also those that are threatening.
Right. I mean, like the 까칠한 아이가 타고 있어요. My child on board and he or she's snappy or they have attitude. Fine, that's whatever. But then I've also seen this one on board. Rough dad, athlete son. Just pass by, don't mess with us.
Okay.
까칠한 아빠와 운동하는 아들이 타고 있습니다. 알아서 지나가세요. That's a thinly veiled threat.
Yes.
There was another sticker that had faces of these really creepy ghosts that would light up if you shine bright against that person. That particular case actually received a fine.
As they should have.
Because, here's the thing, it is actually against the road and traffic ordinance to put up words or photos that can be threatening or offensive to other people on your vehicle.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a law.
There is a law. Well, ordinance. Now we know.
Okay. Well, it's time to wrap up Waga tea time. I feel like the energy just zapped. But thank you once again for this great segment. Haley, what do you want to say to our waivers?
Thanks for having me on. Thanks for waggling with me. I am a machine that runs on your validation. So here's to more of that next year.
Yes, that was Haley for the last Waga tea time for 2025. So thank you. We'll check in with you tomorrow.
Happy New Year.
All right, everybody. And it is now time for our next song with the newest billionaire out there, Love on Top by Beyonce. Bring the beat in.
Stars all the way from here. Can't you see the glow on the window pane? I can feel the sun whenever you're here. Every time you touch me, I just melt away. Now everybody asks me why I'm smiling, I from ear to ear. again and again and again and again. Everybody asks me why I'm smiling out from ear to ear, but I know it's gonna take a little while. Nothing's perfect, but it's worth it after fighting through my tears. And finally you put me first, baby it's you. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. You're the only one I see. Come on, baby, it's you. You're the one that gives your all. You're the one I can always call when I need to make everything stop. Finally, you put my love on top. Oh, baby, you put my love on top, 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 top. You put my love on top. Oh, come on, baby, you put my love on top, 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 top. My love on top. It's you. You're the one I love. You're the one I need. You're the only thing I see. Come on, baby, it's you. You're the one that gives your
It's time for Work in Progress for the final day of 2025. We have Jennifer here, so let's say hi first. Hello.
Hello.
Happy meaty, happy new year.
Oh, same to you.
Yes.
It's a bit colder than yesterday.
Right. And I hear tomorrow's going to be even colder.
Oh, not looking forward to that. But it's about time, you know. It's January tomorrow.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Well, looking back on 2025, ups, downs, great things that happened, regrets that you have.
Regrets. I can't say, I don't want to call it a regret, but I have been doing poorly on health-wise.
Right,
Yeah.
you've been sharing with us, right?
Yeah, but one thing I'm grateful is now I take better care of my health and I started running, slow jogging.
We're all in the same boat, yes.
Or I should call it like fast walking.
Slight jogging.
Yeah. So I exercise regularly, so I'm more aware of the importance of good health.
Yes. So you kind of turned maybe a downer into a positive, so that's good too.
Yeah.
Yes. Well, here's hoping 2026 brings you nothing but like good health.
And happiness.
And happiness, as they say. Right. Well, let's jump into our segment for today. What do you have for us?
Yeah, I mean, this time of year always seems to carry more weight than usual. Don't you feel that?
Yes.
And that's what I want to talk about today. Why do we feel such a strong need to close the year, complete everything?
That's such an interesting question, but it kind of feels like we always talk about like closing the door, turning over a new leaf. Like we need a closure. When you think about it, it's just tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's just another day.
Another day. That's
but we
exactly.
feel it.
Yeah, we are used to it. Yeah. It feels natural because we learned it and not because it's human nature.
Okay.
Yeah, this idea didn't come from psychology. It actually came from systems.
Systems?
When we think about it, well, the whole thing.
Okay.
Meaning like school calendars, performance reviews, fiscal years.
Yes.
Structures designed to organize work and measure outcomes.
That's true. And, you know, just even like a regular calendar, it's always just like, you know, the flipping over the new page.
Yeah.
Like, so systems, are you talking about for organizations or individuals?
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
Not individuals, but systems are meant for organizations, but we adapt it to our personal life, right?
Okay.
And over time, we observed those systems into our personal lives. So instead of simply saying the year ends,
yes,
we turn it into something bigger, something more personal.
And I think we always say, let's take the time to reflect. And we're almost like evaluating ourselves, kind of judging ourselves,
we
right?
ask ourselves, what have I done well and what could improve?
Giving ourselves a report card.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't finish enough. I should have done more. I'm behind and so on, you know.
Even when, you know, maybe you're in the midst of something.
Yeah,
like in the middle of a project.
Right.
And it doesn't end necessarily like today. It could be a continuation into next year, which is tomorrow.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm talking about. We confuse an administrative deadline with a personal judgment.
Oh, okay. So this explains why this season, I think, can feel kind of emotionally heavy for a lot of people.
Yeah, for a lot of people. It becomes less about time passing and more about self-evaluation, almost like a performance review we conduct on ourselves.
That's right. And I think that most people are much harsher on themselves than maybe a manager or supervisor might be.
Much, much harsher, especially because real life doesn't always follow reporting cycles.
True. Yes. And I think the pressure we kind of put on ourselves, no? And like we also judge ourselves.
Exactly. Reflection itself isn't the problem.
Okay.
It's actually good. It can actually be helpful.
Yes.
The problem is believing everything should feel resolved by now.
Like, we got to wrap things up in
By
a nice
the
bow.
end of the year, yeah.
Because most things, they just don't go that way.
No. Careers don't finish neatly. Relationships don't reset. Confidence, learning, healing, they develop unevenly.
But the thing is, we often treat things like, oh, if we didn't finish it by like today, 오늘까지 안 하면 약간, is it failure? Kind of feels like.
Yeah, and that's where unnecessary pressure comes from. Unfinished doesn't mean unsuccessful. It actually means ongoing.
Ongoing, I like that. Yes.
Continuation.
Our diet journey is always ongoing.
Oh, yeah.
Our health kick, always ongoing.
Yes, ongoing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So is this pressure something people feel everywhere?
Well, not in the same way. Different work cultures handle this period very differently.
Okay, so give us some examples.
In parts of Europe, this is barely a work period. Yeah, everyone has time off. Offices close early or people simply don't come in.
So I'm imagining in those areas, there's less of an emphasis on wrapping things up, nightly tied in a nice bow, right?
Much less. Work cycles and personal worth are kept more separate.
Okay. Yes. What about in the U.S.? From what I remember, many offices, they stay open. But I do remember also like the expectations like on how productive you're going to be, a little bit lower during the holiday season,
that's
right?
That's right. And people are just like, the vibe is different. Happy, excited.
Yes.
And it's more about presence than productivity.
Yes, like showing up without trying too much. Kind of like that?
Yeah, exactly. And in many global companies, this time is treated as a transition, not a deadline.
Which means that the pressure we feel isn't inevitable, right?
Oh, no, not at all. It's culturally reinforced, I think. And once you recognize that, it becomes optional.
Optional?
Yeah.
Like we can opt out of that?
Yeah.
Like how?
You get to decide how much meaning you attach to this moment.
Okay.
Some people work, some people rest, some people reset, some people reflect. Others simply get through the day.
Oh, okay. Simply get through the day.
Yeah.
And it's not like a multiple choice. Like this is the right answer and this is the wrong. I don't know. To me,
it's
I
just
think
different.
Yeah, it's just a different answer for different people.
The problem only starts when we believe there's something we should be finishing.
The emphasis on should be finishing. So
yeah.
how should people approach this time then?
By letting go of the idea that it requires a verdict. You don't owe the year a summary. Yeah, we don't have to answer like questions like, what's your biggest achievement this year?
Yes.
Almost like a job interview, right?
Yes. And you just,
Yeah.
So what might we do instead? Like instead of saying like judging yourself?
Well, we can say that it was a year of endurance or adjustment or just quiet learning without visible milestones.
Right. Okay. So, I don't know. Like if I were to look back on my year, there are things that I probably don't even remember, and some things I do, and it's kind of like highlight reels of looking back on your life, kind of.
But still, like, shape who you are with this.
Do people need to reflect right now?
Reflection.
Reflection. And we're not talking about like looking in the mirror.
Yeah,
like looking back.
reflection is optional. So it's
optional.
celebration. So it's doing nothing.
We have options.
Yeah.
Yes. So, okay, I get your message. So we don't have to reflect on ourselves if we don't want to. We can celebrate, we can do whatever we need to do. That does take some pressure off.
Yeah.
Because you're saying basically it's not a deadline?
No, not at all. Because this moment isn't a deadline. It's just the one point on a longer timeline. Your tomorrow will continue.
Yes. So what's the big takeaway for today as we end on a Wednesday? Any ordinary Wednesday. It just happens to be the last day of the year.
You don't need a clean ending. You don't need to prove anything. If you are carrying things forward, you're not behind.
Yes. Well, thank you for giving us some... I guess, like a breath of fresh air on the last day, might I say. So I like how you package things. So any last words before I let you go for the year, though, for this segment?
Listeners, first of all, thank you for everything. Thank you for this year. However you spend this time, working, resting, celebrating, or simply letting it pass, I hope you give yourself permission to continue.
Oh, I like that. Permission not to dance, permission to continue.
Permission to dance as well.
On your own. All right. Well, thank you, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Wishing you a happy new year. See you soon.
See you. Bye-bye.
All right. Everybody, this was Work in Progress with Jennifer. And I was looking at some of your responses to our text topic today, whether you had some, ups and downs. Some people mentioning that maybe their schedule in work is changing as well. So there might be some changes coming your way in 2026. And whatever it is that you're thinking of, planning for, I hope that if you do look back on 2025, let's say things didn't go fantastically, at least in one part of your life, well, we can take a moment to learn from those incidents. I don't want to call them mistakes, those hiccups in life. And to all the waivers out there, to all the listeners, I asked our producer for just a little bit of time at the end to wish you farewell just for today. We'll be back tomorrow, so don't worry about that. So as this year comes to a close, I want to thank you, the listeners, for allowing me to be a part of your morning. So every time I hear from you guys, whether it's, on our YouTube page or whether you're a silent listener, and there are so many of you who don't have the time to text, but for those of you who do send in messages, I do read each and every one of the messages. I try to reply as much as I can. Sometimes I can't, so please forgive me, and I'll try to be more on the ball in that regard next year as well. So I feel like this year has been such a fantastic year, not just personally, but professionally because of you guys out there. So a big shout out, not just to you, the waivers, but of course our producer. We have our producer, Cho Ye-ji. We have our Tweety Bird, always, I wish we could get a mic on her for real. And then we have Haley, a writer, and she comes in for 2 segments as well. We have Sue, getting those interviews, such a difficult job, but she does it day in, day out. And I'm your host. I'll be back to do it all over again tomorrow. Thank you so much, guys. Love you all. Final song, Bravo My Life by 봄, 여름, 가을, 겨울. Have a good one. Happy New Year. Bye, everybody.
서투르게 살아왔던 후회로 가득한 지난 날 그리 좋진 않지만 그리 나쁜 것만도 아니었어 석양도 없는 저녁 내일 하루도 흐리겠지 힘든 일도 있지 드넓은 세상 살다 보면 하지만 앞으로 나가 내가 가는 곳이 길이다 Bravo my life 나의 인생아 지금껏 달려온 너의 용기를 위해 Bravo my life 나의 인생아 찬란한 우리의 미래를 위해
그런 작은 희망 하나로 사랑할 수 있다면 힘든 1년도